Hello guys, welcome back to another mykayaplus video. I'm JP together with me is Chumbeng, and today we will be talking about the hottest topic of the current period of time, which is EPF. So we will be scrutinizing more on the third account, which is the flexible account. But for those who are still unaware, or for Malaysians who are working in Singapore like me, who is still quite not so sure is what is going to transpire, what happens, what's the pros and cons, etc. Maybe Chumbing just bring us through in detail briefly what will happen.
Yeah, if you don't know what is going on with this account tree, I'll give you a very quick summary about what is happening. So basically, uh, in our original account setup, there will be two accounts. We have account one, they call it as account persaraan or account retirement account. Another one is account two, which is your account sejahtera. And then moving forwards, they will introduce a new account, which is account three, call it account flexible, and then the ratio will be changed into the new one, like what I shared in this slide. So basically, account one will go from 70 to 75, and then uh, the 10% of account two will go to flexible, and of course the 5 go to the persaraan. So in short, you have three accounts moving forwards, and then each of it serves different purposes. So you may be wondering, if you're not familiar with EPF structure, what is account two? So technically, account two is called as account sejahtera. Typically, you can withdraw this much more easily compared to account one. If you wanted to withdraw it for, let's say, your mortgage payment, let's say for education purposes. So typically, if you want to buy a house or whatnot, this is the fund that you can utilize. So last time it's 30% of your entire saving. Now it will drop to 15%, but you get to enjoy the so-called third account, the account flexible that you can withdraw anytime, right? So what happened after that, right? I mean, basically he has already started as of 12th of May 2024. So when it got started, you'll see your EPF account appear another type, which is account three. And then all your balance basically remain. And then your account flexible will start at zero. So what will happen is you can choose to move your fund around. So it's technically up to you, right? So if you choose to move your account and then your balance in account sejahtera, which is account two, is more than 3,000 ringgit, technically you can move 5% of it. It will be moved 5% to persaraan, and then the 10% will go to flexible. But of course, if your account sejahtera balance is lesser than 3,000, the maximum amount you can move is just 1,000. So you can calculate your thing. In short, you will just follow the ratio 75%, 15%, and 10%. So this is what will happen moving forward. So let's say next month you receive your EPF, you will follow this breakdown. But this is what happened for your initial amount transfer. You can choose not to do anything. Then everything will just remain, right? So then you have a lot of question. What can you do? What should you do right now? Is there any deadline? So technically, if you wanted to move your the money from account two to account flexible, which is your account three, now you can already do it. Log into the TWSP portal, and then you will be able to do it until 31st August 2024. Please be reminded this is a one-time activity, and then you cannot reverse your decision. So once you have choose to transfer it out, that's it lah. And of course, it will take some 3 to 5 days for them to process it. Yeah. So some of the thing that I think worth sharing, just for your information. Actually, all this while you can somehow utilize the saving of your EPF account. So, for example, the so-called account one that caters for the majority of part of the money, you can technically use it for investment scheme. And then account two is what I've explained. If you can use it for housing purposes, education, and so on. So the new one that is in town is actually account three. It's a very liquid account that you can withdraw any single time. But of course, if you are high net worth people that you have saving more than 1 million, technically you can already withdraw that amount, right? So some of the other thing that you will be asking, if let's say you're not interested at all in this account tree, you want to make sure all this fund is safe for your retirement purposes, technically you can do some sort of movement. So you can see the one highlighted is basically how it works. So it's always a one-way transfer. So you can only go from account 3 to account 2 or 1, or account 2 go to account 1. As simple as that. One way. You can move another way around. And then, of course, the reason why people might ask this is because they will be worried if, let's say, I don't move the money in account 3, which is the new one, and then the interest rate or the dividend might be impacted. So as of today, actually, you don't need to worry about it. As of now, what is being published by KWSP portal is saying all 3 accounts will enjoy the same dividend rate as of now. But to me, I don't think this is practical. I think it's a matter of time. They will change the dividend rates across all the different accounts, because the more liquid the money it is, it's harder for you to basically go for long-term investment and, of course, go for higher dividend rates. Yeah. So in short, this is everything you need to know about account 3. And then, of course, you may have some question about whether you should do it, what is your view, all those things. Maybe Japan, you can share after seeing all these details, what is your view, any things you wanted to share, whether you are supportive of this initiative or not. Yeah.
Oh, that's a very good question. I slowly see EPF taking form into a shape that is similar to Singapore CPF. So for Singapore CPF, you also have 3 accounts: ordinary account, your special account, and also your medical account. So similar to what EPF account is right now, but apart from the flexible part of the account of EPF, we have it as under medical. So we separate out medical together from housing. So it's separated for the Singapore CPF. And I just think that it is, I started off as thinking and saying that it's wrong to have such a move, because you are actually giving the opportunity or flexibility for people to withdraw their money or savings that is supposed to be kept and compounded until they reach retirement age, and let them use it right now. So there's one chunk of it supposedly saved up for retirement, and then it becomes utilizable in the current month. It's also definitely that will affect your potential savings and potential wealth when you reach retirement age. So not a very smart move from that point of view. But on the flip side of it, I also gave it a thought that why has Malaysia's retirement scheme come to the current stage? Probably it's because the overall wage and salary is not high enough for Malaysians to survive in, say, for example, cities like Penang, KL, and JB. So there becomes a need and requirement for this to be moved into this extent. So you can't really put the blame on Malaysians who are struggling to make things meet, and the money that they have without owing more to the bank is maybe to just tap on a portion on their EPF. But for everything to transpire till they reach the current stage, it's a bit sad for my case. It's not going to be a long-term solution by having flexible account available.
Actually, the whole point of retirement fund is to basically enforce or force the saving behavior. And then for people that don't have discipline or whatnot, there's a safety net when you hit your retirement age, right? I think maybe Japan can share more about CPF is how, whether you can do a full withdrawal upon your retirement age. But in Malaysia, technically, you can do full withdrawal. But then you only can do it when you reach your retirement age, which is good because you are forced to save up to whatever amount until that day. But I think overall, from an individual perspective, maybe the impact for you could be small because you have been okay with your jobs. This is just another account, you won't touch it. But then for people that they need the money, probably is so-called a good thing for them to use it for emergency purposes. But then if you zoom it out from a wider angles, this is just the number that you need to take into consideration. So basically, this is a number published by KWSP or EPF, and it's a stat as of 31st of December 2023. So technically, the total saving that we have is about 1 trillion. You see the one highlighted in red, right? So you think about it, 10% of it going into flexible account, worst case, everyone withdraw. So it will be 10 billion basically gone. But of course, you can argue that this 10 billion gone will go to some local economic activity. You buy motors, spend whatever knots that they can make it, but it's technically short term. But what does it mean to EPF as an investment to help you to basically get the interest? You will have lesser liquidity for you to basically do the investment. So in the investment world, it's very simple. Beside all your methodologies, you need the chips to basically make it effective. And right now, out of nowhere, 10 billion is gone. For example, worst case, then I think it's quite bad. Basically, whatever brilliant investment analyst that we have, he can't do investment if the money is not there at the first place. So these some of the thing that's concerning me. But of course, you can use it for whatever good purposes. But I think from a country level, in my personal opinion, I don't think this is a good policy, to be honest. I think there's a reason why you force people to save it and use regulation to protect it. But I don't know about you, but maybe you can share more about CPF.
So CPF, Singaporeans and PRs, we are not allowed to do any lump sum withdrawals. So it's going to stay there. And the special thing, I think we have talked about CPF before. We'll put the link up in one of the top corners of the box. But the essential thing about CPF or retirement planning funds provided by the government all around the world is to just satisfy the basic requirements of a retiree needs, right? So a house to live that is no longer under debt when you reach retirement age, sufficient living expenses when you hit that, and you also have sufficient capital savings or whatsoever to pay for any medical payments or charges that you need, right? So we will not be able to anticipate or foresee what kind of illness will hit us. But the main rationale of CPF is that if you don't have money upfront when you're young to buy a house, there is an ordinary account to help you out with that. But it's also subjected to a minimum of 20,000 Sing dollar inside. So you can only withdraw what is excess on top of 20K. So if you have 20K, sorry, you can't touch ordinary account. And special account is just purely for retirement, and then medical account is for insurance that protects basically all health related, and also to put for all your hospitalization bills and whatsoever. So that is the main reason why we have retirement funds and it's regulated. But the moment you allow a portion of it to be withdrawn and to use for short-term requirements, even though on paper technically it's a need rather than for some of the people, I don't think it's going to be a sound policy, say 10, 20 years down the road, because you're going to be sacrificing future money in the expense of current day requirements, which is sad, to be honest.
I think just to round this up, I want to re-emphasize technically, account 2 already fulfill all the requirement. You have account 2 originally, you have emergency, health-related stuff, you can withdraw from account 2, technically speaking. You don't need an account 3 that is super flexible for you to withdraw to buy anything you want. So I think this is the reason why I disagree with this, but of course it has been launched. What is the thing that I can advise here is, if you don't need it, don't use it. And then if need be, put a standing instruction. Hopefully there will be a standing instruction in the future that automatically move from account 3 to account 2. For example, if this is being launched, I will be the first one to do it. I think nothing much to add, but I hope this video gives you a quick glance on what is going on with account 3 and our view on it. Ultimately, it's not easy to save enough money for your retirement. And the mechanism set up by the government is the bare minimum that you can get out of any other investment that you can do. So just stick with it. Don't withdraw it unless it's really, really necessary. Yeah, I think that's about it for today. Jupiter, anything to add before we officially close off?
No, I think of course we are not licensed financial planners. We can't really give financial advice, but I think we can actually have an opinion and share about it. And I think with regards to account tree, even though it is made flexible, but if there's no need to actually do it, it's still considered an investment. So cash sitting in your account that's not working, I think it's better to use that cash for whatever you need if you have it, rather than go and touch a country which is still considered investment, because it's still
Right.
subset, and investments generate you long-term returns, right? And I think with the existence of our country, sooner or later there will be a tiered interest rate or dividend rate among the three different accounts. So it's just common sense. We just don't know when it will happen, but definitely. And I think when that launch, hopefully people will be more motivated to transfer whatever they have in account three to account one, which probably is going to give the highest dividend rate, because you can't touch it, and long term necessarily will guarantee and justify a higher dividend rate. So that will actually help to boost the retirement amount that Malaysians will have once they hit retirement age. So that's just some 2 cents from my thoughts after studying and having CPF, and also having EPF. So that should be the right way moving forward. So I think that's it from my side.
Yeah, the last thing I want to add is, if you are like, you think of it, maybe all the account is having the same dividend rate, can I just put my FD saving into account three? The answer is no. If you put it
Yeah.
in, you follow the ratio. So
Yeah.
all this thing is planned. There's no such thing that you can get the best from the both world. You cannot just put all your saving into account three. That there isn't such option. So I think hopefully this video is helpful for you. If you like the video, remember to like put the like button to it, share to your friends and family, and if you have any questions, just put inside the comment section. We will definitely respond to it. I think that's it for today. See you
Yep.
in the next video. Bye bye.
Yep. Bye bye.